All right, a brand new national landmark just popped up on Google Maps. It's actually called Brandon Falls. That's a site where Joe Biden fell off a bike and was briefly pinpointed online before Google had to delete it. You can't make, people are too funny online. Anyway, meanwhile, more and more Americans are now raising serious questions about the president's mental fitness. We've only been doing it from day one. Today on Capitol Hill, one congressman is asking the ever so brilliant Buttigieg if cabinet officials ever discussed the 25th Amendment, which would remove an incapacitated president from office. Take a look.
He falls off bicycles. Even at the White House Easter celebration, the Easter Bunny had to guide him back into his safe place. Cue cards that say, "sit here," or "end of speech," which he actually states. That is, if he stays awake. So my question for you is, sir, have you spoken with any other cabinet members about implementing the 25th Amendment on President Biden?
First of all, I'm glad to have a president who can ride a bicycle. And
that's the
question. I will look beyond the insulting nature of that question and make clear to you that the President of the United States...
Have you spoken to any other cabinet members about implementing the 25th Amendment on President Biden?
Of course not.
Here now is former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, along with the lawmaker you just saw, Texas Congressman Troy Nehls. I did like the accompanying displays that you brought with you, Congressman. The reality is, and we've shown this often on this program, we spent a lot of time on this last night, a lot of time last week on it. This man is not cognitively strong enough to be president. It is now more evident than ever. So even though he's glad we have a president that can ride a bike, maybe we can get a president that can ride a bike and not fall off a bike. That would be progress. Do you think the president's up to the job, Congressman?
Well, thank you for having me. And back in September of 2019, Mayor Pete said on CNN, I quote, "If our presidency is not in good shape, then our country is not in good shape." And it just wasn't Mayor Pete. It was the entire left and the dishonest media that railed on Donald Trump for 4 years. Donald Trump wasn't in office for a month, and they started saying that he was unfit to serve, and they questioned his mental health and his cognitive skills. And it's interesting. We've had 18 months of Joe Biden, and we saw it on the television, where he's shaking hands with Casper and imaginary people. I mean, you had the Easter Bunny gaffe, and he falls asleep in all these meetings. So, no, I thought it was a very fair question because he is the leader of the free world. He's the leader of the free world, and our adversaries are taking advantage of this weakness. And I thought it was a very fair question to ask Mayor Pete about the 25th.
You know, Donald Trump took a cognitive test, Mark Meadows. He aced it, 30 out of 30. Why can't Joe Biden take one?
Well, obviously, the American people are real concerned, but it's not just with his mental health or his ability, as the congressman was pointing out. I think it's really about the policies that are coming out of this and who's in control, Sean. You know, when you start to look at his poll numbers, historic lows in 3 new polls, Fox News poll, CNN, Reuters, all 3 of them, Joe Biden has, you know, historic lows now for him, and everybody's looking for an explanation. So if it is not, you know, his ability, his cognitive ability, then what is it? It must have to be deliberate, and they must be looking at inflicting pain, as you covered earlier.
I would argue that any liberal that replaced him would do the same thing. But more specifically, let's play the tape. I play it often. I could play hours of Joe Biden's gaffes. Listen.
The political coverage, look, some of the political players and some of the, let me ask a rhetorical question. No, I won't. Anyway.
Mark Meadows, is that man up to the job of president?
No, obviously, when you start to look at the ability to respond in rapid pace, the kind of decisions that come to the Oval Office on a regular basis, President Trump would go out and do what we call chopper talk. He would have rapid-fire questions from every single news media out there,
Yeah.
and for an hour, and handle them with unbelievable prowess. So that's what we need in the Oval Office.
Anyway, thank you, Mark Meadows. Congressman, great job today. You can bring any displays anytime you want. I thought it was well pointed out today. Good job. And we need to have that conversation about the 25th Amendment.